How do you pronounce it? Frustrated.
It's pronounced frustrated. You know, there's an R in that word.
Oh, is it frustrating the way I say the word frustrated?
Happy thoughts. Think happy thoughts. Economic policy. Tariffs. Assumption of all state debts.
Those are your happy thoughts? I told you this guy was a weirdo.
Jefferson, you do realize we can't keep bickering. This is nonsense. You both know my plan is good for the country.
Enlighten me, oh noble Mr. Hamilton.
Don't patronize me, you arrogant son of a...
Hamilton, you can't just make a national bank. We have been over this again and again and again.
And why not?
Let me explain this in simple man's terms.
You
make bank 'cause document say you can. The Constitution specifically states what the government can and cannot do. Tell me, where are you seeing anything about the federal government having the power to create a national bank?
It's implied. For example, although I can't prove that Mr. Jefferson doesn't have a brain, it's heavily implied. You want a piece of me? Aw, what's the matter? Are you frustrated with my comment?
So the government is just allowed to make up things whenever it wants? That seems like it could get out of hand really quickly.
Let me explain this to you one more time and maybe you will finally get it. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18.
Sentence 55, word 32, character 17.
If you keep interrupting me, I'm going to introduce one knuckle sandwich to your 32 teeth.
Thomas, let's hear him out.
You know what? No one's going to remember that. I'm going to refer to it as the necessary and proper clause or elastic clause from here on out.
So what's so special about this elastic clause?
It allows Congress to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested by this Constitution.
Okay, I know I've been in France a lot, but could you re-explain that, in English?
Congress can give the government more power as long as what it is doing is necessary, proper, and it carries into execution some federal power.
What you're saying is Congress can make a national bank because it would help the country solve its debts from the Revolution, thus justifying its creation as both necessary and proper.
Precisely. Also, Congress coins and regulates the country's money, so why can't it make a bank?
I like how you think we don't understand the concept of a bank when, we helped come up with the foundation of our entire government. We all did this together,
which is why we need to come together to fix our debt.
All right. Let's just humor your little economic plan and say Virginia gives you the votes you need to create your piggy bank. How is that going to get us out of debt?
Well, we are going to assume all federal and state debts.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
What are you laughing at?
The whole assume federal and state debts thing, even I gotta admit, that's pretty funny.
That wasn't a joke. That's exactly what the plan is.
Can you excuse me? Hamilton, come on, really? Even you have to admit that creating this bank is not going to sit well with Southerners. The people funding this bank all live in the North.
We have to get out of debt and establish a legitimate economy if our new nation is going to be taken seriously, James.
At the cost of members of Congress being influenced by private investors?
No one else has come up with a plan, James. You know this is our best bet.
Where are we even going to put this national bank? Heck, we don't even know where the capital is going to be built. And if you even suggest we build the capital In Philadelphia, I'm gonna slap you harder than Thomas Paine explaining common sense to some idiot. Dang, James, you never get this mad.
What do you want?
What?
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
The capital.
What?
That's right. You want Southerners to feel like they're part of the country? Move the capital closer to them. You get your bank, we get the capital. James, I thought you already said we have all the votes to get the capital. Oh, we do, but Hamilton wants this bank, and I don't want to risk any possibility of a northern capital. You can put your bank wherever you want, but the capital goes next to the Potomac River.
Is that it?
And Virginia deserves a $1.5 million lowering of its tax obligations since, we are providing you the votes to create this bank. So, Mr. Hamilton, what's it gonna be?
Deal. All right, well, Congress sent this bill to create a national bank, and I asked 3 of my cabinet members to weigh in on whether or not I should sign it. So, let's begin. Let's read Mr. Jefferson's letter about this bank.
Dear President Washington, Alexander Hamilton is the worst Secretary of the Treasury ever, and that's saying something even though he is the first. Dude is a bum. His bank is basically stealing money from people and doesn't follow the Constitution. Ooh, you know what would be really funny? You should totally veto this bill. That would be amazing. Ooh. If you plan on vetoing it, call us into your office and be like, this bill reminds me of you, Hamilton, and then crumple it up and throw in the garbage and then say, you're both trash. Anyhow, Hamilton sucks, the bank sucks, and it breaks the Constitution. Signed, Thomas Jefferson, Secretary of State. P.S. Fire Hamilton. No one will miss him.
All right, clearly we know how he feels.
Let's see what Mr. Randolph has to say. Dear President Washington, I too feel that this bank violates the Constitution. Where is Congress getting this power to create a national bank? We literally just came up with this government, and now your Secretary of the Treasury has the audacity to violate it? Mr. President, a national bank will further divide the northern and southern states. I would advise you don't sign this bill. Signed, Edmund Randolph, Attorney General.
Wait, there's another letter here from Mr. Randolph.
Dear President Washington, sorry for the strongly worded letter I sent you. I really don't know what to do about this bank issue. I guess that's why they made you president. Well, good luck figuring it out. No pressure. No pressure at all. Absolutely no pressure. Signed, Edmund Randolph, Attorney General.
Well, that was confusing. All right. You better have some pretty convincing arguments, Mr. Hamilton.
Dear President Washington, many people will tell you that creating this bank goes against the very Constitution we created. Some of those idiots might even have the first name Thomas and the last name Jefferson. You wouldn't happen to know anyone like that, would you? However, these same imbeciles forget a very important thing written in that same document, the necessary and proper clause. We don't have a crystal ball to see into the future. We can't know what problems lie ahead. We added this clause because when things become necessary for the government to create, it should be allowed to create them. Is this bank going to save lives? No. But will it be extremely useful and appropriate regarding our current debts? Absolutely. That's exactly why the necessary and proper clause was added.
Give our country a financial leg to stand on, Mr. President. Signed, Alexander Hamilton, Secretary of the Treasury. Okay, I'm convinced. I'll give you your national bank, Mr. Hamilton.
I'm telling you, man, Paris is beautiful this time of the year.
Hey, Jefferson.
What, Hamilton?
Do you like apples?
Yeah, why?
Well, I got my national bank. So how do you like them apples?